Welcome to Ear Biscuits. I'm Rhett.
And I'm Link. Joining us today at the round table of dim lighting is the most popular Viner in the world, Andrew Bachelor, better known as KingBach. KingBach is currently ranked number 1 with 12.9 million followers on Vine. You heard it right, almost 13 million followers with 4.5 billion loops. KingBach literally is the king of Vine.
He got his start on YouTube where he uploads original sketch comedy on his channel, Bachelor's Pad TV. He's got some incredibly funny stuff on there, including one of our personal favorites, Sherlock Homeboy. He's also had a lot of roles in film and television, including MTV's Wild 'N Out, Showtime's House of Lies, and Adult Swim's Black Jesus. But we spent most of our time today talking to Batch about his bread and butter, these 6-second viral Vine videos. Now, if you haven't seen one of Batch's Vine videos, or a few of them, you are missing out. But I'm gonna do my best because playing a clip is not really gonna do anything for you. I'm gonna do my best to just give you a little bit of an idea of his approach. So there's one called The Setup. Two guys are talking to each other. One says, "Did you do that robbery yet?" The other guy says, "Yeah, did you sell those drugs yet?" "Yes." They both then rip off their shirts, revealing that they are wearing wires, at which point 2 cops come out and a cop grabs each one of them and pulls them away. It all happens in 6 seconds. This conversation—
Technically 6.5 seconds, right?
Technically you can get to 6.5 seconds. That is true, I've heard that. But 6 seconds is sort of the what people still say colloquially.
Now it's much funnier to watch him on loop
than to hear me say
than to hear you talk about it.
Yeah.
But if you could make a Vine channel where you like
explain his vines,
like play by play Batch's vines.
I have a feeling that
give
would
me
be
another one
better than just doing our own vines.
No. Yeah, give me another.
How about this one? Monopoly just got real. So Batch is playing Monopoly with 2 friends, including Daystorm, who we know has been on Ear Biscuits before. He lands on go to jail. He then turns to the camera and says, "I ain't going back." Pulls out a knife and stabs the 2 friends. I mean,
yeah, that was I laughed at that one.
Oh, so that one's good.
Yeah, well, no,
they're all
they're
funny.
all great, but your
My version of
play-by-play
that one was
that
great.
one was good.
I get it, right.
Was good.
But you should definitely watch them and not just hear me talk about them.
Yeah, I enjoy getting inside of his brain because there's no doubt KingBach is a super talented technician, definitely a filmmaker who set the template for 6-second comedy. And he tackles the topic of race a lot too. He's got this Vine where he's in a Captain America suit and it's called Captain African America.
That's just one of many.
Seems like something that was just waiting to happen,
Yes.
but it's like very funny to watch.
It's very funny. But there's a lot of them that have that theme.
Yeah, I think that the race car was very much on the forefront of my mind going into this conversation. So I was a little preoccupied with asking him about it without actually seeming racist.
Yeah, mission not accomplished.
Yeah, you could see that it led to a great start to our conversation. But once I recovered from that, we also talked about his background growing up with Jamaican parents, and we got the full, complete backstory to his hilarious Vine video where he proposed to Beyonce at a Clippers game.
In front of Jay-Z.
In front of Jay-Z. And we talked about the future projects he's working on, including one with Key and Peele.
Yeah, so enjoy the KingBach biscuit.
You're wrapping up a text.
To Vine headquarters.
To Vine headquarters? Let's say, all right, I'm going dark for 1 hour.
Yeah. Don't miss me too much.
You're not going to see any activity.
That wasn't supposed to be like a racial remark.
No.
There wasn't like a double ententendre there.
I didn't even take it there, but you just did.
But you did.
I did.
You definitely did.
I definitely
So what's
did.
going on inside?
Well, here's what's going on inside. So, all right, so I'm watching back through the Vines, and yeah, there's the race theme sometimes. So I think that's what came out. There was like this. Oh, he thinks it was like an insecurity on my part. That's like, oh, he just thinks that I might have made, like, he can make the race. I can't make a race joke. So, but he's gonna think I did. I've just started this off on the horrible wrong foot.
Right.
Like this, like ultra awkward white guy foot.
Right. It wasn't going through my mind, but now
It is. It's
Now
all you
what's
can think
happening?
about. How often does that happen?
wow, this is a first. You just set a record.
Define that, Rhett. What do you mean that?
Well,
what just happened?
The thing that okay, so we do quite a lot of research when we get ready to talk to somebody on an Ear Biscuit, and the thing I always enjoy is I like to see other people who have interviewed the person that we're going to interview, and the question that people come up with, and they try to ask a question that's like, I want to ask a thought provoking question about race.
Right.
How often that's not what just happened, but
I think it was kind of the opposite.
Yeah,
a thought devoking joke about race.
But anyway. I mean, how often does that happen?
Oh yeah, it happens all the time. Because back when Vine first started, it was a whole black people be like, white people be like,
right,
Asians be like. Remember that?
Yeah.
So we all used to do that, and so I guess I got a couple of Vines that may have dived into that topic. So people always ask, because a lot of my popular Vines were those like. You know, I don't even remember. This so long ago, but like I had a lot of fried chicken jokes, a lot of watermelon jokes, a lot of Asian smart jokes. So a lot of people ask me about, is race an important topic and why do you talk about it? I talk about it because it's on everybody's mind. Like everybody's trying not to be racist. Most of the people, Right. So, and with comedy, you always got to talk about or discuss things that people are thinking in their head but too scared to say.
Yeah, there's that irony, and then there's that shock value.
Right, exactly.
You got to stir things up a little bit.
Yeah, I did one Vine. It was maybe like a month or two ago. There was these white people there walking. We're on the sidewalk. We're all on the same sidewalk walking towards each other, and then they left to go to the other sidewalk. I'm like, come on, guys, it's 2015. And they're like, yeah, you're right. So they come back to the corner, and I'm like, now give me all your money. So
yeah, we saw that one.
Yeah. So there's things like that I do. And
so, but is there this like every comedian kind of has something that they're known for, and kind of something they keep going back to. If it's something like, I know that these racial themed Vines are going to get more traction, so I'm going to make sure that that's 1/3 of my Vines. Or how does that come in?
Yeah, I try to stay away from them. I'll do maybe one every 2 or 3 months, I try to stick to original ones. Like I have a series called The Gas Money. Like I got you got that gas money? He doesn't. I got one that's called Hey Yo Ma, let me get your number. It's me trying to holler at girls. But like every time, like I'll do something that touches people. So for Father's Day, I did a Father's Day Vine. It was a white guy throwing football to his dad. He's like, Happy Father's Day, Dad. And then the dad throws it to me, and then I throw it to my dad. I'm like, Happy Father's Day, Dad. And it just hits the ground, and there's no one there. And then my friend, he's like, yo, where's your dad at? And I'm like, he went to the store. He'll be back soon. And then I just start crying.
And then you add the music.
The music. I'll be missing you. Because he's never coming back. Now, that's because that's so true to, even though it's a little whatever racist, it's true to a lot of people. It's not just black people. A lot of white kids don't have dads as well, So that my reasoning for that was, I'm reaching out to this audience. I'm reaching out to these people that don't have dads.
And you also get people, at least in this one instance that we just watched, to say things that they may not normally say. Mm-hmm. You were on like a local Fox affiliate, and they were interviewing you, right?
Yeah.
For like their morning show or something?
Yeah.
Those are always a little painful to watch. Like, you did great, but it's, there's always this disconnect when like you're watching the local news person who's like, I'm kind of the robot who's been handed these questions, and I have no clue what I'm asking you about. Vine, or is it Vine?
Yeah.
But then we were looking back through. I don't know if this was on Instagram or Vine too, but you got her to be in one of your Vines, right?
I heard of what?
You got her to be
the anchor, and she said, "This just in, KingBach has a tiny pecker."
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, she was in the Vine. Yeah.
How did you get the reporter to say KingBach has a tiny pecker?
Oh,
how much?
I was like,
negotiation was there?
It was. Hey, I have 12.8 million followers. You want to do this? Yeah. Yeah. What do I have to do? I just like your name. I was like, no. You just say I have a tiny pecker, and then that'll be good. And yeah.
And you did this on the set of the show.
Yeah.
And so were there like producers like sitting around like, oh, she's gonna regret this, or we need to step
See,
in.
the thing about this, they really are robots. Like there's no one there. It's just them. It's just like you two are here.
Yeah.
And then it's the teleprompter and one guy with the thing.
And that's it.
It's a huge studio. No one's there. It's just them by themselves. Like they can do whatever they want.
Or whatever you want.
Or whatever I want.
But it wasn't on the air for them. It was like in between.
But it got a lot more views than if it had been on the air.
We did it during a commercial break. So we were like rushing. They're like on 5, 4. KingBach is a tiny peck. 3, 2, and we're live in Los Angeles, California.
Oh, that was great.
So how often are you putting out a new Vine? Is there like a schedule?
I'm lazy now. I do maybe like one every other day. It's not that I'm lazy. It's I'm doing a lot of other stuff. Like I'm doing TV shows, I'm doing movies. So it's hard to like schedule like doing a Vine and then studying the script and studying these lines, you know? Because at the end of the day, like the Vines, they come from me living life. You know, it comes from real situations that happen, you know? And that's where I draw my Vines from. I don't just sit down and say, all right, let me think of a funny idea.
You don't have just like a brainstorming session. It's just like constantly attuned to the fact that you might experience something that could be a Vine.
Yeah, exactly.
That's how I manage it.
Yeah, well, the one, even video games with females are complicated, and she's like adjusting her Wii character.
Right.
Was that from an experience you were playing with a woman?
Give us that story.
I'll take it from point A to Z. Okay, so it started off the real situation. I was playing video games with this girl. She was so pretty. I'm gonna marry one day. Anyways, so what happened was we were playing Mario Kart, and I picked my characters. Boom. And then, you know, in Mario Kart, you have to pick a car, you have to pick the parachute, you have to pick the wheels, and she was just spending forever to do all that. So that struck me, like girls take forever to pick whatever they want in the regular game. And then for Vine, you have to take a situation and you have to heighten it. So my heightening it was me picking my character fast, and then her not only not picking, she doesn't even get to the car. She just fixing the body.
She made the me character skinnier.
And
then she like changing the eye makeup
and the hair and everything like that. So that's like taking it. That's like taking it to the next level for Vine comedy.
And I mean, before Vine, I would never have thought, I can sell that not only in 6.5 seconds, but I can sell that there's like 6 or 7 cuts.
Right.
I would never have thought that was possible.
Yeah. It's a hard process to do, because there's always like, you don't want to have too many cuts. Even though sometimes I do a lot of cuts, I watch my Vine video like maybe 50 times before I upload it, just to make sure it's easy on the eyes, because you can get dizzy just watching cut. So you have to make sure that the cuts they match up. And I went to film school, so I know about camera angles and all of that. So yeah, it's a process that I had to slowly learn and develop.
And what about the captions? How important?
Oh,
I mean, what percentage of the game is that?
Oh, that's 99.9% of the game, my friend. Caption is everything. Like sometimes I shoot my Vines and then I come up with the caption.
Oh, really?
Yep.
Because let me tell you how I watch when I'm watching Vines. With yours in particular, I really feel like I've got to read the caption first. When you scroll down, it starts happening, and you take it in. You're like, "Oh, I'm going to start the caption. Now I'm watching it. I'm reading the caption." But with yours, it's just like, I know I'm going to get the caption is going to be paid off.
Right. Yep. And that's a thing you got to do. So, keys for captions: keep them short so people can read them, because you got 6 seconds. So you want to just look down and be like, "Boom, got it. Let's watch a video." And if the video is self-explanatory, don't put a caption, just put an emoji, so then people aren't like trying to look and see. They just see, oh, it's just an emoji. Now let me watch the video, so the eyes can just move really quick. So those are like different tips and tricks.
But you always come up with the caption second.
After, yeah, exactly. Because I'll shoot a Vine and I'll think it's like so for instance, the one where the guys walked across it could have just been called it's racist, but But when I actually shoot the Vine, you do some improvisation, and things are kind of different. So when you edit it, then you come up with a different title that more suits what you shot.
Right.
Never be married to a caption.
Are you actually editing on your phone?
Yeah, I got iMovie right here.
So you're just
iPhone.
you just keep it all right there in your palm.
Yep.
But you're banking it. Like, I mean, are you planning days and like shooting a number of these things, or is it really hand to mouth? Like, I just shot this and now I'm over here editing it.
Oh yeah. I shoot maybe 3 or 4 in one setting, and then I'll edit them when I Uber to the club. That's how I do it. It's easy. And a lot of people come up to me on the street and they're like, "Hey man, I'm trying to get famous like you, man. I'm trying to get my stuff popping." And like I wanna help them, but then I'm like, no, why should I help you? I did it on my own. I was in my room just doing selfies. So I'm like, I tell everyone, like, it's up to you. You go and you make a selfie video and you do something funny.
Which is code for I'm not going to help you.
That's code for I'm not going to help you. You can go yourself.
Right.
Well, and that's a related question to that is when you got the profile that you got, and Vine is so collaborative. People want to collaborate, and that does a lot for them.
Right.
And you collaborate with a lot of people.
Mm-hmm.
Especially when you have the ability with the way that you work.
Exactly.
At least I could imagine you could be shooting. I could say, let's shoot something right now, Batch. And like, I could think you could do it.
Right.
And so I can only imagine that you have developed
But here's the thing.
Here's
the thing. When I was starting out, I didn't do my first collab until I had 150,000 followers. So I built everything from scratch by myself. It was me and my friends, Daystorm Power.
Yeah.
Who else was doing it? We did some with Glozell, Timothy De La Ghetto. And these are all people, like, we had 0 followers on Vine, and we weren't sharing them to Twitter at the time. We were just shooting it because we didn't know how to do it. So we went from 0 followers, and then it took me 2 weeks to get 100 followers. And then it took me another week and a half to get 500 followers, and I was so like crazy about it. I had a calendar and I would write down how many followers I was getting a day. And I was like, oh, people like when I do this kind of video. People like when I do this kind of video. People like the race videos. And I did this one race video and I got 2,000 followers just from doing that. I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna do more race videos. Yeah, sounds good. Mm-hmm. Like, I'm not racist, but people want to see that. Yeah. Let me do that, And then it got to the point where I mastered and I see what people like to see. They like to see relationship stuff. They like to see things that you deal with in regular life. So that's why, when I draw my ideas, it comes from stuff that actually happens to me. Because not only does it just happen to me, it happens to everyone. Everyone has relationship problems. Everyone has parent problems and all of this. And then when I developed that, when I studied that, I went from getting like 2,000 followers a day to 50,000 followers a day. Because all these like websites and best Vine compilations are all putting me on there, and they would put my name, KingBach this, KingBach that, and I was getting 50,000 followers a day. And then I went from 3,000 followers to 1 million followers in like less than a month.
Right.
And it was just from me just figuring it out on my own, and
as opposed to short circuit. There's a short circuit thing that happens when you just pimp somebody out there.
Exactly. Because look, if I help someone else out and I give them a tag, okay, yeah, they'll get 20,000 followers, but when I leave and they create content, it's gonna suck, and people are gonna be like, why am I following this guy? And it's gonna hurt them in the long run.
Right.
So knowing all that, how do you say no?
I just tell them, I'd say straight up, oh man, it's easy. I make it seem like it's a simple thing, even though it's not. I'd be like, oh man, it's easy. Just make selfie videos at home.
But
that's
when
what
they
I did.
say, I want to do one with you right now.
Oh, no, they never do.
They don't?
No one
people
ever.
Don't ask that?
Mm-mm. When they do, they'll be like, all right, let's shoot one. And then they'll just do like hey, I'm with KingBach. Yo, say what's up. And I'm always willing to say what's up. But no one's ever asked to, I got this skit idea and blah, blah, blah. And if they do, I'll do it. It's 6 seconds. And they're not going to be like, all right, you got to do a backflip here. You got to take your shirt off. You got to kiss my girlfriend on the mouth. Like, no one ever does that, So, I'm always willing to say what's up or do a quick little skit. Like I just say one thing. And then
that's a good point. The investment is pretty small.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
But then again, it's not. When it's like helping somebody out, but let's go back to just you and your craft, because the investment is something that when you think about your work is a tremendous amount of time. And I just imagine, even when you say you're so busy with all these other things, which we'll talk about, there's got to be this pressure that like, I'm on top. I'm really far on top, but there's still a pressure to stay up there, right? So you got to keep giving them something.
No, there's no pressure because, all right, so here's another thing that if you go on Vine and you go in the search thing, make sure my phone's on silent, I am the number 5 most typed in name on here because just because of like the videos of me in the past, you know? So my name, I still get the most followers a day even though I don't post, you know? And it's just because of it has a lot to do with me being on TV and movies now. So people are like, oh, that's the guy from Vine, and he's on my TV. And like someone says, like, what's Vine? And they'll type in my name and they'll search. Like, oh, this guy's funny. Let me follow him.
Right.
So I'm getting a lot of followers from that, just me being on TV. But yeah, it's just it's just
You're so you're coasting at this point.
I'm just coasting right now. Yeah,
that's not a bad place to be.
Yeah.
Now, Iman Alphacat was telling us about the whole heater or deleter thing.
Yeah.
I think Daystorm told us about it too. We got into the mechanics with both of them, so we won't make you take us back through all of that. But
did you teach them that?
No, we learned. If a video doesn't do good,
take
likes,
it down.
Yeah, you delete that.
And how quickly are you doing? Were you doing that?
Well, now I don't do it anymore because I've kind of like mastered. You know, I know what works. But back in the day, I give it 5 minutes. If it didn't get the likes, boom, out of there.
Do you carry a police uniform around with you everywhere? Because that comes up in a lot of Vines.
A lot of it, right?
And so it's like, it's one thing for inspiration to hit, and you're like, okay, I can shoot this, but I got to have my police uniform.
No, like Daystorm has his prop closet. We go to Daystorm's house, and he's got a whole bunch of props and uniforms in there, and we'll just go and we'll raid his closet.
And does that ever, I mean, the whole going outside dressed as a police officer, has that ever gotten any of your friends that you've gotten that to do in trouble?
No, not the police uniform, but Daystorm got arrested he got put in cuffs one time for bringing out a gun because the neighbor, and it was a toy gun with the orange tip and everything, but you know, you don't see that when you're across the street. You don't see the orange tip. All you see is a guy holding an AK-47. You're like, all right, yeah, we have a problem. I want to report this. And, you know, the cops came, helicopters came.
When was this?
This was about a year ago. Yeah. It was like 10 cop cars, helicopters. It was crazy. And I filmed the whole thing. Yeah.
So what came of it? Was he taken in?
No. They just looked at the gun and they saw it was an orange tip and they told him, you know, we could have shot you. But this is like back in the day when they were really shooting black people then. So
back in the day, right. A year ago.
Oh, man. So speaking of film that, so what did you do with that footage? Did that go up somewhere?
It went on this. There was another social media website that I was on. I can't remember what it was. I don't use it anymore, but I uploaded it on that. So it's lost now. It's lost footage. But if you find that footage, I want to see that found footage.
I'll tell you some good footage.
Yeah, Kim Kardashian.
With you and Beyonce.
Oh yeah. So
front row of the Clippers game. You hand her something,
right?
And this is a Vine. This one was huge, right?
Right. Mm-hmm.
So give us the story.
Yeah. So
first of all, what would the audience see if they haven't seen it? Like, walk us through what they would see.
Okay. So the audience, for those of you that don't follow me on Vine, at KingBach. Anyways, so it was me at the Clippers game. I see Beyonce and Jay-Z sitting down. I kneel before Beyonce and I hand her some toilet paper.
Oh, that's what it was.
Yes, because she is on the rest of these bitches. Wait, can I curse? Is the curse gonna get bleeped?
Yeah,
they get bleeped.
But yeah, you're fine. Say whatever you want.
Okay, she be pooping on these female dogs. And Jay-Z looked at me like, I'm gonna kill you after this. So
and
enjoy
you can
your day.
see that.
You can definitely see that on his face
because your friend was filming it, or like one of the members
one of the members of the Clippers. Crew. They were filming it, and it was pretty scary because like,
well, he looks up in mid text and then looks back down.
Yeah,
but it's quite a look.
And then at that moment, it was a quick look. But I was just thinking about all the articles I read of him stabbing people in the back of the concert. And I'm like, oh wow, maybe I shouldn't have have done this, but Beyonce,
She looked very happy.
Oh yeah, she was so happy. She's so nice.
So that's what happened, but then the Vine that loops then cuts to you kind of giving commentary on the look from Jay-Z as part of it.
Yeah. And because you have to add a little bit of comedy to the Vine, so I was like, yeah. I mean, he probably didn't want to kill me, but it's funny if you let people think that he did.
Right.
Okay, so let's rewind to right before you go up to Beyonce.
Mm-hmm.
You're just at the Clippers game because you want to go to a Clippers game.
Well, the Clippers, they actually they gave me season tickets, so I go to all the Clippers games.
Well, that's nice.
Yeah.
Wow. So you're there, and it's just something you do.
And they tell me Beyonce's there. If you want to do something, we're not going to stop you.
They gave you the heads up.
They gave me the heads up
specifically.
Yeah.
Beyonce.
Yeah.
They didn't mention Jay-Z either. It's just like no one's thinking.
Oh yeah, no, they said that. They said Beyonce and Jay, they're here if you want to do something. And I was like, all right, cool. Let me think of something.
We're not going to send security to like tackle you. It's basically
right.
Giving
you the green light.
Yeah.
Oh man. Okay, so
and I don't even think she knows who I am to this day. Like,
I'm sure she's seen the Vine.
Maybe.
I mean, along with
30 million views.
30 million other people.
You know she has.
Okay, so how long after arriving at this Clippers game did you get the toilet paper and do this? Because I would have been a nervous wreck, like so keyed up, like even in performance mode. It's like, all right, I'm about to do this,
Nah, I wasn't nervous at all. I wasn't, because she's such a nice person, And I wasn't nervous. Just went up and I just got on one knee and I was like, even if she is good, this was my reasoning. Even if she gets mad at me, it's gonna be good television or Vinevision.
Right.
Would you have done it if it wasn't gonna be turned into a Vine?
Would I have done it if it was put it where?
Just for nowhere.
Just for the moment.
Just for the moment.
Just for the moment.
Just like for your friends who were there and the people in the stands. Would you have done it
for the Jumbotron?
I would. For the Jumbotron. I would have got a ring and I would have done something like cool, not funny. It was been like, hey.
You would have legitimately proposed.
I would have actually proposed.
Yeah, I would have
to
actually
Beyonce.
married her. So,
I guess what I'm asking is, like, what's your like off-camera personality profile? Are you the type that like, I still am going to entertain and I'm going to do this hilarious thing or this?
No,
I'm going to get the center of attention here, or that's like totally against type.
Oh yeah, off camera I'm boring. Off camera I'm creating. I'm thinking of stuff to do, for when the cameras start rolling. But like, when the cameras are rolling, that's when I go and I take risks. But off of it, no, I'm just your average Joe. Just your average Joe Schmo.
So knowing that this was going on Vine and it was going to just totally kill the internet when it did, like that had to feel good. Like when you were walking away, you're like, I did it.
No, I still have no idea. You never know when a video is going to go viral. You never know until you upload it,
Did you shoot the other part right thereafter, or did you shoot that like...
I shot it on the way we were walking back up to the box. And I was just like, all right, I need something else. It wasn't really all that good. So I was like, Jay-Z looked at me like, watch out.
Because you watched what you just shot back.
Yeah.
And then you're like, okay, I got my joke. I got my button.
And then did you immediately post it?
Yeah, I posted it right there at the game.
That's great.
And then you're still sitting there. You're just watching it go up. So you're watching two games.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly, right? And then they had my like when I was down there, they had the camera on me and they had my name, but they spelt it Batch, B-A-T-C-H. But everybody knows it's KingBach, B-A-C-H. For the viewers out there that don't know. And so right when I got up, nobody's even like saying, oh, that was crazy what you did to Beyonce. They were just like, yo, they spelt your name wrong. And who else was there? Bieber was there with us at the game. A couple of the Viners were there with us at the game. And they were all just like, they weren't even like, I just accomplished my dreams.
And they were just,
it was like, yo, they spelt your name wrong.
Found your weakness.
Yeah, they found it.
So the Clippers just called you up and said, hey, here's season tickets. Here's a box.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And you said,
I said, yes, please. Yeah,
that works out.
It worked out great.
Give him my number.
Well, let's go back. Let's find out how the batch that we see here in front of us and at the top of the Vine charts,
you're right,
taking over the comedy world. How did this all happen? Where you from?
I'm from Florida, West Palm Beach. I was born in Canada, raised in the mean streets of Palm Beach.
When did you move?
I moved when I was 3 years old.
3 years old, so but you're technically Canadian.
I'm not an American citizen yet. I'm still a Canadian citizen. I'm here on a green card, so I could get deported any minute.
Could you?
Right now.
Are you working on that?
Are they coming in? I don't know. No. Yeah, I could if I do something bad. Just like Justin or Drake, right?
Yep.
Is Drake American yet?
I don't think so.
Yeah.
I
So
don't know. I know he's really into pools.
Into pools?
He likes swimming pools a lot. That's all I know about Drake.
So yeah, I went to college at Florida State University. I studied finance.
What are your parents like? Let's stick back there a little bit.
Yeah, my parents, they're both drug dealers. Just the finest, cocaine. No, they're accountants. They own an accounting firm.
But they're Jamaican, right?
They're Jamaican, yeah.
All right, so describe them. Like, are we like, okay, because then you say your parents are Canadian Jamaicans. I have no clue what that means.
So they lived their whole life in Jamaica. They went to college in Canada, York University.
So they've got like the accents, the Jamaican accent.
Yeah, man.
And did you ever have that?
No, man.
You never had it?
No, because I think it's a lot of people that go through this, like when they go to school. Like if you have like different, like if you're Spanish or you're Haitian or whatever, you go to school, like, why do you talk like that? Like, why can't you just talk like us? And they start making fun of you. So I was like, yo, Dad, when I'm at home, speak American. Like, I'm getting messed up at school. They're beating me up at school. You can't be talking like this.
Verbally beat up or physically beat up?
Verbally.
Okay.
So it wasn't a cool thing. Having the Jamaican parents wasn't a cool thing.
At the time, no. Now it's awesome. Now it's great because, there's no more bullying, or is there? But it's like, yeah, when I was in school, I just was like, yo, I want to be like my friends, and they talk regular. They eat fried chicken. What is this oxtail? What is this curry goat? I want fried chicken and watermelon, Dad. So, another racist joke. I saw he's in there like, yep, I got him.
He's falling into my trap.
So yeah, that was the childhood that I grew up with.
Brothers and sisters?
Yeah, I have one sister, Christina. She's actually my manager. And yeah, that was my childhood. It was me.
So is she an older sister? You can't have a younger sister be your manager.
Oh yeah, you
because
can.
that's like
she's smarter than me.
That's like it. As an older brother, you can't admit any of that, right?
I denied it for years, but then she solved the Rubik's Cube in 3.5 seconds, and I was like, "You win. Yeah. You manage me."
You could do that twice in a Vine, almost.
Yeah.
Almost. You get right to the very end of it.
It's very frustrating when you think it loops before
it
starts.
Solve
it twice.
It's like, he almost had the red.
So what are your parents like now? Are we talking like dreads and like
No, they're just regular black parents.
And they're still accountants.
Yeah, still accountants.
Do they take care of your stuff?
Oh yeah, I think. I hope so.
They're supposed to be.
Yeah. My sister, she has a master's in accounting as well.
Okay, so there's a lot of family pressure to be an accountant.
Yeah.
Which is kind of the exact opposite of what you do at this point.
Yeah, like ever since the third grade, I was like, I want to be an actor. Well, I didn't know what acting was. I was just like, I wanted to do what Jim Carrey did. And that was like Beyond the TV. I didn't know.
Which movie were you obsessed with?
Ace Ventura, The Mask, all the Ace Venturas, Liar Liar, all those movies. I used to know Liar Liar like word for word. Mm-hmm. And that's how crazy I was with it.
Because you're too young for the In Living Color, Jim Carrey or anything.
Yeah. I mean, I saw pieces of it on Napster. I used to download, and that's why I saw Fire Marshal Bill.
Yes.
But I never knew it was a TV show. I just thought there were little clips on Napster that I would download. So, and LimeWire. Damn, that's
LimeWire.
That was back in the day.
That was just Mac only.
Mac only.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
So, I didn't know what it was, but I knew I wanted to be like that guy.
Was this coming out with being, class clown, making your friends laugh, or was it just like, I'm a kid watching movies and I want to be like this guy?
Yeah, I think I developed my class clown ways from trying to be like Jim Carrey. Like I would go to school and start like acting all goofy like he would do in his movies, like The Mask, And then I guess that put me as a class clown, and it was different because Jamaican comedy, it's a lot different than American comedy. It's like, it's, I don't know how to explain it. It's just more aggressive. And it was just like I had to develop my own way of comedy through like watching these American TV shows. Like I would watch Eddie Murphy's Delirious and Raw on Napster as well. I didn't even know that it was called stand-up comedy because there was no visuals of Eddie Murphy stand-up. It was just audio. So I was like, this is crazy. And I didn't know that it was Eddie Murphy until my freshman year of college when we were watching it. And I was like, yo, this sounds so familiar. And they were like, and then I would listen. I was like, yo, this is what I used to listen to when I was a kid, because they only had clips of the jokes, like the ice cream joke and all these other Eddie Murphy jokes.
You didn't get to see the jacket.
I never saw the jacket till my freshman year of college. I was like, this.
That's a big part of that. Is the jacket.
Exactly. So that was me growing up, and my parents, they come from the accounting and all that background, so they didn't want me to be an actor. They made me do finance for college. So my undergrad was in finance.
So when you brought it up, was it just, and I think this is probably the case with a lot of kids. I mean,
right.
Like, we grew up in North Carolina. We wanted to be filmmakers, and when I told my dad we wanted to go to film school, he was like, "Okay, well, I'm not paying for that." I think that when you're kind of outside of like either like New York or LA, it's like parents don't really, they kind of try to snuff that out, because most of the time it's kind of a pie in the sky kind of thing.
Exactly. They said no one makes it. You have to be like 1 out of a million. And
did you believe them at that time, or you're like, I'm just going to find my own way?
I kind of did, but then I was watching. I think, I don't remember what grade I was. Maybe 8th grade. I was watching some clips of The Rock when he was younger. It's either The Rock or Vin Diesel, one of those big guys.
I think they're the same person.
They are, aren't they?
Let's just go with that.
Yeah. So maybe someone could find this clip, but he said, I always knew I was going to be a star. So I always act like a star. And then that just stuck with me for everything. I was like, no matter what anybody says, I already know I'm going to be, I'm going to be a movie star when I'm older. So even though my parents, and they were like, you got to go do finance. I was like, yeah, I'll do finance. But then I would take acting classes on the side, to perfect my craft.
Right.
So, yeah.
And acting classes, you graduated with a degree in finance.
Yeah.
But you were also an athlete at FSU, right?
Yeah. I did the track team too. Like I could have competed for Canada if I wanted.
In the high jump.
In the Olympics?
In high jump, yeah. Yeah.
So how'd you get into that?
I just did sports. My dad did soccer in high school. So I did soccer growing up. I did track growing up. And, I was good enough to get a scholarship at college.
For track,
yeah. And then.
And how high did you jump?
7 feet 2.5 inches.
How tall are you?
5'8" and a half. I round up for the ladies and say 5'9".
If you had to do it right now,
crazy.
if you had to do it right now, what do you think you could get? I mean, how much does that wear off over the years?
I could probably get like 6'8" right now.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
You could jump over me.
You could Fosbury flop or whatever it is.
Yeah.
Fosbury flop over Rhett's head if he laid his hair down.
Well,
he laid his hair down.
That sounds like a vine, but I'm not. We won't. We can talk about that. We can talk about that later.
You got to listen. You got to start this on your own. You don't need
Yeah,
to
that's
be
right.
propped up by
That's
right.
Batch.
You got to do selfies, man.
Okay, all right. Selfies first.
He could help you, but then after that, your vines would suck. He's already told you.
I told you, man.
But you could have been. You're saying you could have been on the Olympic team.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I'd take a lot of training.
But you kind of said you sort of voluntarily backed out of that. I'm not
yeah.
pursuing this thing.
I always knew that, I wanted to be an actor. I had fun doing track, but at the same time, it wasn't a blast doing, that. What I have a blast doing is creating content and, having people draw towards it, whether it be happy or sad.
And so how was that happening in college? What were you doing in college to entertain people?
Yeah, so I was in a couple acting troupes. I was one called the Black Actors Guild. I was in another one called
Bag.
Bag, yes. Yep. I was in another group called 30 and 60, where we performed 30 skits in 60 minutes. It was us against the clock. And that was short form comedy. And so like an example of that one would be we all line up in a group, and then they would start the timer, and then 60 minutes would count down, and then the audience, they would pick a number. So they yell at numbers. We have all the numbers lined up on the wall, and they'd be like, 15, 15. And you flip over the 15 card, and it says Klondike. So we go and we perform, and then we start. They go action, whatever. And it's like, what would you do for a Klondike bar? And then one person goes, I'd read a book. Another person goes, I'd run a mile. Another goes, I'd help a friend. And the last person goes, I'd suck a. And they're like, what would you do for a Klondike bar?
And then you're out to the next
scene.
one.
And then everybody's like 14, 13, 12. And then we say, all right, 10. And we go to the next skit like that.
I mean, that sounds like training for Vine.
Yeah.
In some ways.
Yeah.
It
You know, it's like, I got to move through this, and it can't take that long because I got to get the other ones out there.
Exactly. Yep.
But it didn't loop.
It didn't loop.
And if that one would have looped, would it have been funnier? Because that's the real test, right?
Yeah. That is the real
You got to
test.
see it.
You got to see it 10 times.
You got to see it 10 times, and it's
Before
got to
you know.
keep getting funnier
every time.
every time.
Because then every time you watch, it's like a movie. Every time you watch, you're like, oh, I didn't notice that. I didn't notice that right there and there.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
So I mean, you had the bug. You were deep in this. So it's like improv.
Yeah. No. Well, we performed. We practiced. It wasn't improv at all. We practiced for like 2 months.
Oh, okay.
Like, all that was basically memorized and planned,
Yeah. Exactly.
but an hour-long show.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
And
30 skits.
then what next? What was the next entertainment thing that started to get traction for you? Was it after college or still in college?
No, still in college. I did YouTube videos. My first one was actually called TLC. If you type it in, it's called TLC No Scrubs Hilarious. I think that's what I called it.
All hilarious, all caps.
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, you got to go all caps with hilarious.
You got to go all caps with hilarious
all the way.
And,
What was that?
it was me doing my first like music video parody. And it's crazy. Yeah, it was really bad.
It wasn't hilarious.
No.
So you were watching
No.
like, what year was this? This is
2008. I think I
Okay.
made my first video. Yeah.
so you're like, okay, some people are getting traction on YouTube.
No, I
I'm
didn't
gonna
even
do
know.
that.
I didn't even know people were getting traction on YouTube. I just wanted to make videos, and I seen like some viral videos. Like I think there's the evolution of dance.
Yeah.
Remember
Yeah,
that?
right.
That was the only video that I knew was like really popping and hot. And I was like, oh, that's cool. Let me try and do some too. And I uploaded that. Didn't get a lot of views. Got maybe like 1,000 views. But for me, I was like, holy,
Yeah.
1,000 people saw me. You could suck a. That's what I was.
So you kept doing it?
Yeah.
Like from
I kept
there,
doing it.
your YouTube channel, and you called it KingBach.
No, that one was called JL07D because I was cursing.
Because that's catchy.
Yeah, it was my friend's email address, and it was because I was cursing on the channel, and I didn't want my parents to see me cursing. And if they typed it in, they would see it and be like, "Oh, this is bad."
What would they have done? I mean,
Spanked me.
in college.
They would have driven
So
to Tallahassee.
what were they, like, very conservatives, like no cursing in the house?
Yeah. Oh yeah, I never curse around my parents.
Even now.
Even now, yeah, never.
But they see your stuff now.
Yeah, they hate it.
Okay, well,
They don't hate it.
Yeah, they do.
What do they say though?
They say, Andrew, you have to be a role model. I don't know. I don't speak that foolish language. No, they just tell me, they encourage me to be positive and uplift everyone. But I do.
And do you engage and say, but I am? I mean,
I tell them-
I have a foundation that's helping people, but I express myself with
it's colorful language.
But no, I tell them it's not even me. Like if
Okay.
you watch a movie, if you watch Will Smith, he's cursing in his movies, but you don't see him cursing in interviews, you know? So I'm like, hey, it's just a character. That's not me, Mom. I'm Andrew. That's KingBach. Who is that guy? I don't know that guy.
But you cursed in an interview too, right here.
But this is KingBach, guys. Come on, guys.
Yeah, right.
I got you.
You're as King
Let me
Batch.
call in Andrew. Hey guys, how you doing? It's Andrew. So what are we doing now today? A little podcast.
So how often does this come up? Does this you have this conversation with your
With my parents? I think she's texting me right now. Is this living stream? Is this going Is this
No.
this going live
This
right now?
is
This is periscoping
She's texting me right now.
But put her on speaker. Let's talk to her.
Let's talk to my mom.
We could ask. No,
I'll call my mom right now. Let me put it on speaker.
don't say that unless you're going to do it.
I'm doing it right now. Let's hope she picks up.
What's her name?
Ingrid.
Are you going to give her context, or are you just going to?
No. We're just going in. Let's hope she's not going to talk about my dirty underwear.
Hello.
Hey, Mom.
Hi.
I'm getting interviewed right now.
Where?
Right here in our studio. It's the Ear Biscuit studio, Mom, with Rhett Link.
Oh, you guys have me on speaker.
Yep.
Yes, we do. What do you think about your son's career?
I think it's great. I think he's doing what he wants.
Be honest, Mom. Be honest.
I can tell by the tone.
No, I think your career is going great.
What do you think about his
You're
videos?
happy.
What do you think about his videos? Do you like his videos, his Vine videos?
99.9%.
And
I
what's
love.
what's the 0.1%?
What's the 0.1% that I don't like?
Yeah.
I don't like the swearing.
Swearing.
we heard about that.
I'm just being honest.
What words in particular do you not like to hear him say?
I could never repeat.
I almost got you though, didn't I?
He almost got you, Mom. All right, Mom. Well, I love you.
Okay,
I'll talk to you
son.
later.
Love you too.
Love you, Mom.
Bye-bye.
We love
Bye.
you.
Bye. Take care. Bye.
I think it's really weird
She had it ready
that
right there.
you just got your girlfriend to role play as your mom. That just is inappropriate.
To have that ready
That was
to go
obviously
like
a fake accident. That was your girlfriend doing her best shot. No, that's great. You got a sweet mom. Now call your dad. No.
Yo, what is? What? I'm not, son.
I didn't think you were lying, but that was still very cool to get validation.
Yes.
Yeah.
It was.
I don't think it helped. I don't think we helped your relationship any there, but
She seems like she's resigned to it, though. I mean, the fact that you called her and she spoke about it like that, it's like, yeah, this is something we talk about, but this is not a sticking point in the relationship. You kind of moved beyond it.
Yeah. Like she knows. Like I tell her every time, it's like, it's not me. It's a character I play. You know, just entertaining people.
you started investing this character into a YouTube channel under someone else's email address.
Yes.
And then did you switch over to your YouTube channel now? It's called something different. It's not KingBach.
No, it's called Bachelor's Pad TV.
Bachelor's Pad TV.
Yeah, because my KingBach channel, I think that's where I put my track videos. And then Bachelor's Pad TV, that's where what I wanted to do was I wanted to start my own web series of like sketch comedy. Mm-hmm. So I developed that to do that, but you know, I stopped doing that. I stopped doing web series and just did like off skits, just like regular one-off skits. So,
and at the same time, you know, okay, so you're doing this in 2008. Where you're still in college
at
at
FSU. Yeah, right when I moved to California in 2010, that's when I stopped JL07D and I started doing Bachelor's Pad TV.
And you moved out here to kind of try to make it in the traditional media world.
Yeah, and the only way I could do it was, the only way that my parents would let me move out here is if I took classes. So I said, I'm going to get my master's degree. Let me go to California and do that. So I went to New York Film Academy. Yeah. I did a master's program. I dropped out a semester early because it was just so repetitive. And I was like, come on, Denzel Washington. He doesn't have a master's degree, you know? Let me just
I can do a great Denzel Washington.
Okay, all right, huh? You know what I'm talking about. So yeah, it's just I then I started doing my YouTube stuff really heavy, and I was doing stand up in YouTube, and then Vine came out, and I was just like, you know, it's a lot cheaper to do Vine videos.
But what did you think? Oh, what was that conversation like when you were introduced to Vine by a friend, right? And it was
Brittany Ferlin.
So she was on Vine.
Yeah, so the way it happened, it's like, it's crazy that I think about it now. It's like, this would never happened if, you know, I didn't take the courses of events that happened. So there was this comedy troupe called Groundlings, right? Mm-hmm. And Groundlings, I did the classes there, and I met this guy named DJ LaBelle. I don't know if you guys know DJ LaBelle. He does like little parody videos here. He did this one called Women of LA. And I was in that video, and so is Brittany Ferlin, but we never met. We shot on 2 different days. So he had a rap party for that video, and Brittany was there, and she was just really crazy. Like, I didn't even, the first time he introduced me, he's like, hey, this is my friend Brittany. She's like, you. And I'm like, okay, nice to meet you. And the whole time at the party, every time she sees me, she's like, you. She's sober. Like, she is sober.
She liked you.
Huh?
She liked you. That was like...
Yeah, something like that. I don't know. But, yeah, so after that, I was like, yo, who's that crazy girl? And she's like, oh, she does Vine videos. And at the time, she was like the number 4 most followed person. Like, she had 500,000 followers. And I was like, what's Vine? And I downloaded it like the week after, because black people always be late. Racist.
But what did you think? Like, okay, Vine is a 6.5 second video that then loops on itself. This is genius, or this is stupid? Or
no, I didn't.
It's just something. I'll do it.
Yeah, I didn't have any opinion on it. I remember I did my first video. I was just like, just filming like random stuff, like, and then I just liked that you can film and stop and film something else. I was like, no one else has done that before. I was like, yo, this is cool. And yeah, so that's why I started doing it. And then later on, I started like, let me try a skit, and I did like a little impersonation of something. And then next time when I was on set of filming one of my YouTube videos, we had a set there. And then I was like, all right, I'm gonna rob you, but then you take out a gun and then tell me to put it back. And then so we filmed that video, and then I was like, oh, it's cool. So the videos, like I started off with, they were very bad at first, but then I studied and I saw what people liked, what people wanted to see, and I just incorporated that more.
But they were very quickly skit based.
Yeah, exactly.
Whereas what she was doing was more personality based, I assume.
Yeah, she did a lot of personality. Like, she did a lot of twerk videos, like twerking in Walmart, and she did a lot of personality ones, but she did a lot of skit ones as well.
And then you kind of got into this group of guys where you were all trying to figure Vine out, right?
Right.
And Daystorm told us about the Vine parties, basically getting together and everybody makes a bunch of them.
Yeah.
Like, how long, it seems like the kind of thing you're going to look back on as like, those were the good old days when we got together and we're figuring it out.
Yeah, we used to film. This is when I stopped everything. I stopped, taking acting classes. I stopped doing stand-up comedy. I stopped doing YouTube videos. And we would meet up from 9 a.m. to like 5 p.m. and just shoot a whole bunch of videos. That's all we did. We just shoot the videos, save them, and then upload them the next day. And that's back in the day we were uploading about 3 videos a day at that time.
And would you invite a whole bunch of really hot girls, or would you just like find them and just have the meeting wherever they were? Because they would be there one way or another.
Yeah, they'd come. Like, they started coming out when we had like 100,000 followers, like 50,000 followers. The girls would start coming out because they have like 200 on 2,200 on like Instagram and Twitter. So like, yeah, we want to do it. So now it's easy. Now we have everything. Now we have all the followers. Now they're just like, can we? What do you think about me like being in your Vine? Like, I don't know. We'll think about it. This is Halle Berry, So that's where we're at now. But yeah.
But so you stopped doing everything else to focus on Vine at that time. Was that this is gonna be the thing, or this is going to be the thing that gets me into the stuff that I want to do?
No, at that point when I focused on it, it was just like I don't know. It's just like I really have fun doing this. It's not like it's wasting my time. I'm getting a lot of followers doing it. So, I was just like, let me just keep with it to see how many followers I can get and take over the world.
And was there any money in it at that time, that early?
No, there was nothing in it. Just doing it just to do it.
So you stopped doing things that are potentially making you some money. You're in LA. It's not easy to live in LA.
Right.
So
no, but the thing is, I wasn't making any money doing YouTube either. Doing YouTube or stand-up. Like stand-up, they'll give you like $50 here, $20 there to do some spots. But
what was your day job then?
Nothing. I had nothing. I just dropped out of school. And
where were you living? How were you living?
Oh, off mommy and daddy.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I made some investments in college through Apple. I bought a stock in Apple when it was like low, when it was $80. And then at the time when I came out here, it was like $600.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, yo, I got my money saved up. I can stop doing stuff for a while and survive. And yeah, I was just like, let me see what I could do in this time. And I think I had like 6 months that I could do it, like straight, nonstop, everything. And I just did it, and stuff started to work out.
And what did that, when it began to work out, obviously it turned into followers.
Mm-hmm.
But when did the people start calling? You know, when we're like, we want to put you in this, we want to represent you.
Oh, you're not
Right.
talking about brands, you're talking about like entertainment?
Well, I guess both, because that's kind of two different things. There's the sponsorships and, you know, making money directly from it, then there's the other opportunities.
Yeah, they both came about the same time. When I hit 1 million followers, my management came out of the woodworks like, hey, what's up, man? How you been? Everything cool? We want to bring you in the office, see what we can talk about. And then also agents were, you know, hitting me up. UTA, CAA, WME, Gersh, all the top agencies were trying to get me to sign with them.
And what's that like? Were you prepared for that? Or is it like, what do I do?
It was like revenge.
I got to ask my younger sister what I should do.
It was like revenge because like back in the day, I'm trying to send them my headshots, trying to call them. I don't get nothing. I don't get nothing, not a thing. But now a couple months later, I got a couple followers. Now you guys want to, you know, work with me. So it was like, all right, cool. So I let them wait. You know, I let them fight it out a little, see which one was the best one. And UTA ended up being the best one for me.
And Justin Bieber, how did, you know, you mentioned him earlier, you're hanging out at the Clippers game.
Mm-hmm.
I know people like to talk about that and like to ask about it, but I can't not ask.
Right.
Because I think it's just it's just another point of reference. Beyonce took his toilet paper and then he goes back to the seat with Bieber because they're friends. Did that happen because he was a fan first or through something different?
Of the Clippers game?
No, just your friendship with
Beyonce?
Bieber in general.
Oh, how we hang out.
Yeah, like how did you guys meet?
So he watched Vine videos.
He was a fan of you.
Of the Vine videos, yeah. And
but then what?
And actually, we didn't meet through that. We met because Floyd was a fan of my Vine videos, so he flew me out to Vegas, and he gave me tickets to his fight. And you know, Bieber walked him out that year. Bieber walked him out that year, so I met him through Floyd. And then, but he knew who I was through the Vine videos.
Right.
And then we all, you know, it's a tight family that we have. So we'd all hang out, go to parties together, and through that we built a friendship.
And was there a point where you were just like, this happened? I'm famous.
No, not really. Because the way I look at it, it's like, yeah, people come up and take pictures, but to me, it's just like, it's a big high school. You know, in high school, like you look around and you're like, oh, I saw that guy last week. You know, oh yeah, I saw him 2 days ago. So, you know, you have a familiar face there and they, you know, take a picture, like you take pictures with your friends. So to me, that's how I look at it. It's like a big high school, you know? Mm-hmm. That's my relation to it.
What about Snapchat? Like, I know you're on Snapchat. KingBach on Snapchat too, right?
KingBach on Snapchat, ladies.
Ladies, just the ladies
Just
for my
emphasis
Snapchat.
on ladies.
So what's your approach to Snapchat? Because I imagine that your Vines, a lot of they hatch, I wouldn't say spontaneously, but like for us, if we use Snapchat, we don't do Vine. So we use Snapchat as a very spontaneous way to perform in a way that our YouTube videos would never allow us to do. But I just assumed there was more of a competition creatively between what you do with Snapchat or Vine.
Right.
Definitely Instagram.
Right.
So let's just throw all those together. Are you just throwing on Instagram, what's on Vine, and what do you do on Snapchat?
Yeah, so Snapchat is like my daily vlog. Like I used to do vlogs on YouTube, but you know it's hard to edit and do all that. So I saw Snapchat as, okay, I can just film what I'm doing and delete in 24 hours. So that's what I use my Snapchat for.
So no sketch-based stuff on Snapchat, just real life.
Yeah, just real life, what I'm doing, who I'm turning up with, what dates I'm going on with my future wife, Halle Berry. I love her so much. So Instagram I do that for pictures, videos, I use this app called Shots. That's like a selfie app, so I do a lot of selfies on that. Vine video, I do my sketches. Facebook, is everything.
You've got some stuff on Facebook that is like a 1.5-minute video, like an instructional video, different like sketch type.
A longer
things,
sketch.
Playing a character. Is that only on Facebook, or is that living somewhere else too?
No, those are my old YouTube videos.
You're recycling the old
on
JL07T
JL07T that had like 5,000 views, and
now they have like 4 million views.
Yeah, so now people are seeing it for the first time.
That works,
and that's why a lot of comments are like, "Yo, what happened to your hair, man? What's going on? You shave your head?
How do you do this?"
Yeah, so it's because those are videos from like 2008, 2010.
So with all this stuff, we don't do Vine, but we do a lot of that other stuff, and we know how difficult it is to keep up with staying relevant and staying on top of all these different things. Mm-hmm. So you kind of gave the impression in a previous interview that with the Vine stuff, it's just like, no, I mean, I'm just filming it and I'm editing it on my phone. But is it just you and your sister? And like, or what's the team behind Batch?
The team is me, my mom, my sister, my dad, and UTA. That's a team right there.
So for your content that you produce.
Oh, for my Vine videos?
You're basically saying you can kind of you get help from friends, but in terms of...
You don't get someone to edit your Vine videos.
I edit them myself. Yeah, right
on the phone.
On my phone, yeah. So like I said, like if I'm going to an audition or I'm going to, the movies or something with some friends, I'll be editing my Vine videos.
Right.
I think the big question is, when is Sherlock Homeboy going to come back?
I love that.
Dude, I love it. It was so funny, man.
So great.
I want to turn that into a movie, but copyright issues.
With Sherlock Holmes?
Yeah.
Really?
Just a parody, man. Fair use.
Misspell Sherlock.
Get a really good fair use lawyer and just, do it, man.
That sounds
Listen,
like
all right. I'm going to co-write this with you, man, right now.
Yeah.
Sherlock Homeboy meets Herlock Showgirl.
Showgirl.
I don't know. There's like a female alter ego.
Right.
It could be Halle Berry.
She'd be into that.
The pipe.
In that.
Okay, so Sherlock Homeboy, I'm just going to geek out on this character a little bit. There's 2 episodes on your YouTube channel, right? Mm-hmm. And this was before Vine took off, or like at an early stage of Vine where it was like in parallel.
Right.
I guess it's my way of asking, how do you view YouTube? Are you going to do any of that? Is it necessary anymore?
I love YouTube. I actually love YouTube more than Vine, because like YouTube, you can show like talent on YouTube. You can really like take your time and show emotion and really tell a story. Whereas Vine is just like you gotta boom, 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 and you have to be over the top and all of that. So
you're frustrated creatively with the limitations of Vine.
No, not at all, because I can do, you can do whatever you want. I choose to do the Vine videos. I have fun doing them. So, I make the Vine videos, and then when I have time, I'll go back and I make YouTube videos as well.
But if you had to choose, if you were forced to choose, you can be number 1 on Vine forever, keep doing what you're doing, or you can pursue this traditional, whether it's YouTube or whether it's film or TV, story-based, character-based stuff. Which one would you do?
Money is not a factor.
Money's not a factor. Well, see, it's a politic game, because if I wanted to get offered the roles on the TV shows that I'm gonna get offered, I would need the followers. Even though you have the talent, you still need the fan base.
But let's take that out.
Let's just say it's up to you. People just write a blank check.
Oh, YouTube. Yeah.
So from a creative standpoint,
because
that's what you want to do.
I went to film school. I studied everything about directing, producing. I do that all. So if you look at my YouTube channel, those are the videos that I wrote, directed, and produced. And it's a great feeling when you take something from 0 to 100 real quick.
Right.
But so what are you focusing on now? Because I would assume that you could pour your finances into, if you want to do a self-financed something on YouTube, you could certainly do that at this point.
Oh yeah, definitely.
So is that what you're doing, or is it more of the traditional break into movies kind of thing? Where's your focus?
Yeah, right now it's more the traditional. I'm actually developing a show with Key and Peele right now, a sitcom that we're gonna pitch to networks the end of next month. I'm doing a move with Martin Lawrence. I just got 2 scripts. Gonna see which one that I like the best out of those.
And you would just be acting in that.
Yeah, acting in those. Yeah.
As opposed to, I didn't know if there was like a directing component to any of this or a writing component.
No, I won't start directing traditional media until about maybe 3 or 4 years. Then there'll be big blockbuster movies. Yes. So yeah, and then I have another offer to do another like a adequate budget movie starring myself. So yeah, I'm doing a lot of traditional media, so I don't really have time to do the YouTube videos as much as I want. And same with Vine. Like, it's hard for me to find the time to do Vine videos as well.
So I mean, you're getting the opportunities that you want.
But it's interesting because, like, when I look at Sherlock Homeboy, it's like I can immediately see, like, the next step from that. If that's the only thing I saw in terms of you being, like, it's clear that you're a star, a movie star. When I watch that, like if I hadn't seen anything else, it's just automatic. Right. But the Vine videos, it's like, okay, isn't there a question of, well, are they only listening to me because I have so many followers? Are they only hiring me because I'm popular on Vine? But creatively, there's no crossover here.
Yeah, exactly.
It's nice that you've got the comedic chops to be a great actor, but isn't it frustrating that you're being hired just because you're popular?
No.
Or is it both?
I mean, not at all, because, I went to film school. I don't know, I'm dying over here. I went to film school and I studied, the craft of acting before, I stopped everything. Like,
well, I know you're good at it, but
right.
But isn't there a chip on your shoulder?
No, not at all. Because, like, I do the videos I had to do the videos to get popular, so I could get offered these roles, and then I use the talent that I have stored up to when I get the roles to perform when I'm on set. So it all happens hand in hand. So, that's why I think, I hear a lot of rumors about, we give YouTube stars the opportunity to act in these movies and they mess it up. And that's because they don't have the training of the craft, and they're not ready yet, So it all works.
That when you take advantage of the opportunity, you're going to show up and you're going to deliver.
Exactly.
So,
not scared. I actually did a drama movie, my first drama movie that will come out in 2016. It's called Shot Callers. So, that's me doing some serious acting, and for 2 years straight, that's all I studied, just drama. Just crying in classes and all of that stuff.
So you're not funny at all?
I'm not funny at all.
Do you cry?
I do cry.
Do you bleed?
I do bleed. I bleed blood.
And it's so even now you're already branching off into just drama.
Right.
But it's an actor path.
Exactly.
At this point. You said directing, that'll come back in. Mm-hmm. What's the Key and Peele show?
The Key and Peele, I can't really talk too much about it, but I can say it's based about cops. Dun, dun, dun.
See, you're going to use that cop.
I'm going to use the same outfit. I'm going to go to Daystorm's closet. I'll be like, hey, I need that cop outfit. For what? It's just some silly TV show, bro.
So it's not a sketch series. Mm-mm. It's a scripted, like a sitcom.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
That's exciting.
Yeah. Oh, it's going to be great.
And are they going to be in it too, or are they just behind the scenes?
They're just producing it, executive producing it, putting their stamp on it.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's a good stamp to have.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, listen, man, it was cool to hear your story and get to know you, and we're super excited. And
it's great to be here.
Yeah, so
we'll
see you at the next Clippers game.
Oh yeah, with Beyonce.
We'll be above the box, like in the upper deck. We'll throw something down to you.
We'll be out front waiting for you to walk by, and we'll hold out our hands for a few extra tickets. Thanks for coming in.
Thanks for having me.
And there you have it, our conversation with KingBach. Tweet at KingBach and let him know what you think of our conversation. It's spelled like Bach, King, B-A-C-H. Mm-hmm. And yeah, I might have thought it was Bach the first time.
It's like
at least 50% of me.
Like one time, and after that, got it right.
Maybe it was, I had to hear somebody say it. But when I read it, it was KingBach. So that's how you type it when you tweet at him, #earbiscuits. But when you see him on the street,
just say, hey, what's up, Batch? What's up, Batch? Now, I find it interesting. He's funny everywhere he tries to be funny.
Oh, yeah.
But he has hit this sweet spot with 6 seconds. But I think that we should potentially get him to be involved in our new venture, the new app that we've come up with, Twig. 1 second videos.
Yes, we have.
As opposed to just going down to 5 or 4, let's just go all the way to 1. Who else is going to compete there?
Right. Maybe like photo sites potentially.
But no, photo sites is no second. I mean, it's just a 1 frame. I'm talking full, maybe 30 frames. We could do maybe 60. We do everything's in 60 frames, so you get 60 frames, 60 FPS, like the news.
I think. Yeah, I think we're not competing with pictures, but we're competing with the
GIFs.
News. We're competing with GIFs, I think.
Twig. Anyway, so happy to announce our new app, Twig.
And Batch is
featuring Batch. He's
all
number
over
1.
it.
He's number 1 on Twig.
He is all over.
Soon to be number 1 on Twig.
Right. He is. I mean, but he's on top of the world.
Well,
and he senses no pressure.
Well, I'm joking.
He's so far ahead. That's
I'm joking,
why.
but I think he actually would be funny in 1 second. That's the funny thing is that if you told him, hey man, there's this new thing where you got to be funny in 1 second, he would figure out a way to be funny in 1 second.
Oh, sure. He already knows it. He don't have to.
He's like, I've already got 20 things planned because I knew that this was going to happen.
And there's people who have already planned it. So like our Twig is going to be late to the game.
Yeah, Twig is probably already an app, and we've like sent people over to it now. You know.
I think Barry should be number 1 on Twig. I'm just going to create that account right
Barry
off the
with
bat.
the E. I get it. I think it's Barry's actually.
Oh, there's like 2 guys named Barry on the same account, and they're number 1 on Twig.
They could be number 1 and 2, and they alternate between who's on top.
And we just we decide. No, we decide who's on top, man.
No, that's not how it works. It's whoever gets the most loops.
Oh, okay.
Hey, here's
is it going to loop?
It doesn't loop.
It shouldn't.
It's 1 second and it doesn't loop.
It freezes at the end.
It freezes and you can never, and then it disappears because it's like Snapchat. It's up for 1 second and then it disappears. Try to be funny on that, Batch. I bet you can.
Me too. All right, we'll be back next week with another new invention, or maybe we'll just do another earbiscuit.
Yeah, that's
Let's
simpler.
just do that instead.
Yeah. Okay.